Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Everton Daily. It is Friday, the 5th of April. 38 years ago today, I was at Villa Park watching Everton beat Sheffield Wednesday 2-1 in the FA Cup semi-final.
So was I.
Alan Harper, Graham Sharp.
Didn't see you.
I was in the Whitton Lane end, and when Harper scored, I ended up about, I was a kid obviously, but I ended up about 60 foot forward with the sway. It was mad. People who I was with were just, and then we all somehow ended up back where we were watching the game, which was mad. And
I was there as well. Just, you know,
I'm just saying, you two do whatever you want, but I'm just telling you that I was there. It was great. And 38 years later, PSR is what's talked about more, and lawyers and deductions.
It's funny because
all of that.
Yeah, I mean, we did an interview earlier on with Paul Gregg, you know, King's Dock fame and board director at Everton and so on. And I actually, it'll be out early next week sometime. But I actually said to him, much of the things he was talking about, what was happening then, you could say are still applying now, 20 years later.
Really?
You know, same things, lack of vision, lack of this, lack of that, lack of the other.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, he's 80-ish now, early 80s, but he'd been early 60s then. And he just was, some of his frustration comes across.
Still there.
Yeah. And he has more independence than us, not being an Evertonian per se, you know. But anyway, watch out for that, people. It'll be quite good, I think.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Just waiting for Ned to edit it
good.
and stuff.
Sophie says, seeing the Paul Joyce article, if they're not satisfied with 777, how come they haven't failed them? Because
I've not seen the article.
Who
I don't
said?
subscribe, so.
Who said they're not? Who said they're not satisfied with it?
You're talking about Paul Joyce, I guess. Yeah. The Times, isn't it?
Yeah, I've not read it, Soph, to be honest with you, but it's just much of a muchness, isn't it, I think?
If you subscribe, just do a little précis for us. Is it just he's been asked to write some content, or is he implying he knows they're not happy? Because my understanding, for example, is, and we've talked about this before, haven't we, about the conditions that allegedly the Premier League have laid down. We've talked more than once about the same conditions fundamentally that Fahad Moshiri laid down. Therefore, 777 have known about them for a long, long time. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure 777 have told the Premier League, yeah, we can do that. Next. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't get it.
No.
I really don't. And I don't know whether Paul's just offering opinion or whether Paul's got some inside track or whatever. But it just seems like the idea that they couldn't satisfy something 6 months late, well, apart from the passage of time messing about with you, they probably didn't think they were going to spend £200 million, did they, on support? But that might be just, you know, preloading the amount of money they would have had to spend anyway when they walked through the door. So,
well, I was going to say, yeah, because if they come in, surely they would have had to spend that similar amount of money. Cause,
well, the stadium still needs to be built. They would have had to put some structured debt in place to fund it, or they would have to fund it from fundamentally expensing it, which is what Moshiri's been doing for the last 2 or 3 years or whatever it's been. The thing's nearly finished, guys. It's, you know, it must be in the last 60 or 70 million quid to finish it. Lest we forget, we're all going through this pain, but every day the stadium gets closer to being finished, and in a perverse way, it gets closer to being paid for as well.
Yeah, I think.
You know, I know we're using all our credit cards up to the max, but you know, there's an RMF and there's an MSP and there's a Metro Bank, but there isn't another yet.
Everyone gets worried with the debt, don't they? Rightly so. You see a debt, and you
well,
go,
we just done a BWB, and we again, you should watch that, peeps, because we talk about between debt and cash flow and PSR. And
no, just when you see it makes people nervous when they see headline debt. Of course, it does. You go, what about this? Because in your head, you want to see the football club buying players, don't you? Getting better players, improving the team, and whatever. When people see debt, they just think, well, that can never happen. So this is going to just get worse. But the reality is, like you said, there's many different ways that football clubs run and all of that. So I think, listen, I've not changed my mind on this at all. I think if they were going to be rejected, it would have happened many moons ago, I think. The fact they haven't, and the fact they said the other day can be rejected, and it hasn't, means that it's more likely to happen than it isn't to happen. That's my understanding. I could be way wrong.
There's a subtlety in what was said the other day.
Yeah.
You mean the response? Response to the fab.
Yeah, I don't think
a very clear interpretation, if you choose to go that way, is they don't reject you per se.
Mm. Yeah.
In other words, there's no end date to you proving.
No, but they
situation.
said they can reject. When people have put this...
If there's some events have taken place that cause them to reject, they have, right? And it's interesting that potentially lots of the noise around what's been going on for the last 6 to 9 months or whatever it is are things that many people would say are the sort of events that they could reject you for. Yeah. And therefore, if they haven't rejected them, it's because they don't see that noise in the same way, do they? The Premier League.
They mustn't do, must they? And they've got more info than we've got, haven't they?
Absolutely. Well, most scrutinised.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We're just guessing, really.
I just think, it's approaching at a pace, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometime next week, something's got to happen one way or another.
I love these kind of comments. Mathew Connor, love it. That Baz lad. I'm here, so call me Baz, not that Baz lad, so we have to look for him. Would be the first to hound out an attacking manager. Really?
What,
do you know me? Me, apparently. I don't think I've hounded...
Where have you got this reputation
I don't know, because a few people who don't...
Mate, every time we do one of these, you get some random thing that... Are they just winding you up because they know you react? Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea. They don't sit by me. They don't listen to me. So they do whatever they want. For playing out the back, we sack Dice. Stop overrating the players. They aren't good enough to finish higher than 16th. If they wouldn't have had points deductions, they'd be 14th. Ergo, higher than 16th. That's just how. And if in the league table, that's just how it works. 14th above 16th.
If you didn't need minus 10 points for 3 months, then maybe you would play with a bit more freedom.
Dice is awful. Don't get me wrong, but that Baz fella doesn't half overrate players. Okay, mate.
Which players have you overrated?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, no,
I've no idea. So who do I overrate?
Yeah.
Who do I overrate? This will be someone, if Mathew supported Ipswich when they were 18th, when Kieran McKenna took over, and said these players are terrible, they can never finish above 18th. The Ipswich in League One who were 18th, but now they're about to come into the Premier League with not much change. Yeah, that's right. Because apparently Mathew doesn't understand that coaching makes players better. Yeah. There you go. Or that Mathew lad. Is that better? Is that there we understand it? Alex says, why'd you keep calling him that Baz lad? Do you mean Baz, the co-host? Strange. I don't know where the people... It is funny. It is. Mathew's a cop-out. Yeah.
Which one?
Possibly. I don't know. This is what people are saying.
All right.
I have no idea because I don't know Mathew. I've never met him in my life. Want to come and have a chat? Come in. We'll have a chat about who I overrate as a player.
No, let's do it now.
Because there's not many players that I massively rate in Everton's team.
There's only 2 or 3, isn't there?
I think what he's saying is because I said I think we should be finishing higher than we are with this current set of players.
I agree. No doubt.
There you go. Oh, yeah, brainwashes the fan base.
What, you?
Oh, well, he was on the other week, wasn't he? I brainwashed the fan. I'd love to have that much influence. Imagine it. Brainwash the fan base so everyone thinks we have a top 10 side.
Where's that come from?
And I create unrealistic expectations. Who is this person?
It's brilliant.
It'd be great. It'd literally be great to have that influence, wouldn't it? Imagine.
Is he going to answer your question?
I'd have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea. Hilarious. Yeah, absolutely. You said that McNeil's better than Messi. Absolutely. Godfrey's better than Maldini ever was.
But he is.
Yeah.
Oh, now he is.
Andy's a Burnley fan. Says all the best for the rest of the season after tomorrow. Of course, I'll be there. Enjoy it, Andy. Enjoy it. We'll be there. It'll be a tough game for us because you're playing well at the moment.
You're in the upper or the lower, Andy, or Burnley just taken one bit of it?
Surely they took all
of it. Surely.
It's down the road, isn't it? Oh,
yeah.
They've gone everywhere, haven't they? So you imagine, Neil.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything where Everton are putting like the upper Bullens back.
Okay, so that's good.
I mean, they might do. I don't know.
Because allegedly, because I guess like us, Burnley fall into that small club category, don't they? Yeah. But
there's
allegedly,
14 small clubs, isn't there? Yeah, according to Mr. Masters.
Allegedly, clubs who are not in that small club category don't sell out when they come to Goodison. So, well done, Burnley. You might be close, but you still got to rock up, haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you still come.
Yeah.
Kev Murphy says Baz is a cult leader. And Celtic Vapors. Baz, any chance you brainwashing the team?
It's called motivation. that brand of your brainwashing motivation.
I'd love to have that, honestly. He's given me far more credit than I deserve, isn't he?
I never heard anyone say Baz said.
Because, right, I don't go on...
I hear lots of Ped said.
Yeah, I don't go on social media, so I don't say anything on there, and I'm on here every day, and if you've got it where I've said these players are amazing, and we should be in the
Just
top.
tell us which show, we'll find it, we'll
I'll have a
clip
look.
it. Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
We'll get Ned searching it.
I'll watch it back and see whatever. See if we can get something out of it.
Well, he could just tell us, couldn't he?
Oh, God, yeah. Absolutely. Gav Cunningham says, if Dyche sets us up with 3 centre mids and Young starting Saturday and we lose at home, I think he's doomed. Sets us up to win.
If that happens, we're all doomed.
Robbo says, lads, Dyche press conference yesterday petrified me. I understand he talks nonsense for the sake of it, but I genuinely got the feeling he has lost the players, lost his confidence. I'll be honest, I don't know if you could tell he's lost the players from a press conference, to be fair. He probably will be feeling pressure.
Some of them.
But he should be feeling pressure as well. It's Everton.
He's definitely lost some of the players. He's got to have lost Patterson, hasn't he?
I imagine he's lost Patterson at the moment.
Won't have lost Ashley Young.
We've got to win.
Yeah.
Haven't we? Just win.
We're going to win the next 3 in a row.
Lynn says, hello everyone. Everton fan here from Kuala Lumpur. Hello, Lynn.
Wow.
Welcome.
Hello. Is it raining?
You always say that.
Yeah. Well, it's that time of the year.
Lynn also says, needs a fighting attitude against Burnley.
There's a walk up tomorrow, isn't there? Or is it just get in the ground early tomorrow?
No, there is, yeah. Quarter past 2. Is it from the Brick?
I think so, yeah.
I think it's from the Brick, 2:15.
The return of the walk up.
There's no, it's not like a bus welcome and stuff, but it's like a march, I suppose.
Get in
it.
The 8:78 and all that lot. The one
in
in
a quarter to 3
yeah.
and it'll be flags and stuff on it in the streets.
It's easy for me because I'm always in that time, not like you, 1 minute too. Yeah.
Well, you know. Sophie says, what does John think of MSP having a charge or something in Mashiri's shares?
It's an interesting one because they don't want to run a football club, do they? I think their interest is in if they could get some influence or control, even use that word, on the stadium. I think that'd be more up their street. I don't think they have any charges on that. It just seems like something they perhaps would be unwise to exercise, right? Because at the moment they're near the top of the stack on getting paid out, and if they converted that fundamentally that loan into equity, they fall to near the bottom of the stack. So it's Mashiri acting as a guarantor, isn't it? But it'll all flow out of if 777, which I believe they have. They've told the Premier League they can satisfy the conditions, and one of those conditions is paying off MSP. So if they said they can do it, they can do it. If they then get to okay, you're approved subject to doing that, they have to hand the money over. And that going back to people who get concerned about big debt piles, even though again BWB, go watch it. Some of it will go overnight as a consequence because MSPs will be paid off. 777 will convert their loans into equity, and Farhad Mashiri will catch a cold on his. So most of it goes away.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely.
Hence the promised land is within touching distance.
Brian Ball says Mathew is actually Ped trying to wind Baz up. I think it's Ned.
I don't have to do that to wind Baz.
No, he's got better stuff than that to wind you.
He knows where the skeletons are.
Yeah. Big Kev says, Baz, can you shed any light on the Premier League saying no more points deductions will be brought in, so where does that leave us? Is that with these new rules? I haven't got a clue, mate.
I don't think the Premier League have said anything, have they? Journalists are saying lots. Yeah.
The problem is they do sort of slide things out though, don't they? To the press.
You know,
or do they?
Probably not.
Okay.
Because 20 football clubs turn up for a board meeting, they agree something, then all 20 walk away. Some maintain Chatham House rules and don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
You only need one who's got his favourite journalists, and it just goes bang, 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 bang. You know, and you know Keegan in the Mail talking about luxury tax and the way the NBA works, and you can overspend, but you pay for the privilege. MTAG, I know it was the other, but MTAG had an article on that weeks ago. You know what I mean? So legacy mainstream media types are catching up with where independent fan media has been for a while.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we live and breathe it. It matters for our football club. So I do an article on squad ratios. I do an article on what's this week's one on, all the debt and the PSR type potential breaches of clubs and so on. But when it was little Everton, naughty boys, badly run, deserve everything you get. Where was everybody? Right? Then Forest get added to it, and so they join our club, and their fans suffer like we've suffered. And now there's another, who cares how many it is? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 other clubs thinking, that could be us. Let's change the rules. Let's change them. We don't want to get hit with that. Let's change them. And, in the M-Tag article that was published yesterday, I think, Pat Ridge is our editor, I think he's published it. Go look for it, people. You can find it.
Yeah.
I talk about how the 14, if you want to call it, the 14 small clubs need to be really careful at what they sign up for.
Yeah.
Because
I think so.
you're making it even more likely that you'll never get near the 6, right? Notwithstanding that, if you watch BWB, there's a little sunny day plan that says you can join that if certain unique things are happening, like brand spanking new stadiums.
Yeah.
All those clubs in and around us now, if we get through the tunnel and come out the other end at Bramley Moor, still in the Premier League, we've got such an edge on so many other clubs, it's not true. All we've got to do is exploit it, Baz. That's all we've got to do.
All. Lynn says it's a thunderstorm currently, John, and tomorrow will be muggy.
Oh, cool.
So there you go.
What
Lynn's
time does it rain every day? Baz is going to Florida, so he knows it's about 4 o'clock.
Yeah. I was going to say then, real source. I mean, Kev Murphy says Baz defo does Scientology. Well, I did see the Scientology church in Minnesota, in St. Paul, when I went for a walk. When I had to get out before Ned ended up getting launched through the window. I went for a little walk around the block.
To calm down.
Shawnee Kelly says, I tell me bird that Baz said to do it whenever I ask her to do stuff, because we're both brainwashed by Bazman.
Oh, what he asks her to do.
Steve Kelly says, I agree with Mathew. Baz messaged me once saying McMessi and Jimmy Perlo. Where was I? Real Tours, good lad. Is our mate at Real Tours there. Says, greetings, all random one, but any word on whether Bramley Moor Dock will be hosting weddings? I can't find anything online, and I'm in the market for a venue late 25.
Yes. Contact them. They're defo going to be doing weddings. Contact them.
Why do you think that's not readily available?
Which?
Already, that information?
I don't know. They're busy.
Interesting.
Baz, it's not opening until August.
No, I know. But you think people do plan weddings like 2 years ahead sometimes? You think there might be some info?
Yeah, I think if you message the club, they'll do something.
Mike Flynn says, love listening to Johnny, cheers me up.
Oh, good.
That's because you're telling us there's a promised land that we might get to.
Yeah, definitely is, mate.
Yeah. Just got to ride out this difficult moment, would you say?
Yeah. But the success isn't gifted. You have to earn it.
Bloody hell. Phil Williams says, if we sell Onana, would Ampadu be a potential replacement? Watching Wales last week, he was brilliant. He's done well, hasn't he? He has done well, Ampadu. He was linked. I think he was linked with Everton in the summer, wasn't he? He'd be a good player. Don't know whether Everton would be looking at him, but...
What do you think about Onana? Do you think we've sold him already?
I don't think we've sold him already, but I think they know there's strong interest there. And it'll be about extracting the biggest fee.
How'd you get an auction going?
You need something to bid, I guess, don't you? Could you do the old phantom bid? Get someone to go, do us a favour, or just let it know.
We saw what happened in January where running scared, no one spent any money. So either everyone's got a bit more money to spend, therefore summer window might be bigger because, or they're still running scared.
Well, Everton's challenge, we did speak about this, is whether or not they are compliant in this season. Everton would want to spend would want to sell Onana after the 1st of July.
To put it in next year's?
Well, because the Euros run till the 14th of July, I think it is.
Well, you think we'll get more?
If he plays well in the Euros, then you've got that opportunity, haven't you? The people go, actually...
More interest.
There's a bit more
if
interest.
Nothing else, more
which
interest.
Might mean a couple of teams, which means Everton can bounce it up a bit. If Everton If Everton said, say for argument's sake, it's 65 million for Onana, that's the lowest we're taking for him. And someone offers
then he has
that.
an amazing.
Yeah, but someone offers that on the 25th of June. Everton might go, whack that in these accounts this year. We'll take
Kill any danger of
that. It'll cover some cost.
And then if that gives you headroom to buy after,
exactly. Yeah. Then you've got that opportunity to go right. 1st of July, we've got.
You know what you're doing right now? Brainwashing people.
I am. Yeah.
You're actually, you know that Everton are going to be a distressed seller. We'll have to sell before the end of the financial year, and you're giving a Silver Cloud version of it with your brick.
Can we get them things on the screen?
We need the Twilight Zone
Those
stuff.
graphic.
Yeah.
No, but if you look at it that way,
But you were just being sensible.
yeah, if you look at it that way, you go, well, if we're gonna sell them and then we get some money, then we can be planning ahead, can't you?
So, okay, here we go.
Because don't forget, Everton are losing Dan Juma and Jack Harrison.
Here we go. I'm the chief exec, and I've got my finances, and it's touch and go. Just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Touch and go. And we know full well, clearly, all the issue goes away if we sell before, but we might get more money if we sell after, right? And you're Kev, right? What's our rock bottom price, Kev, to sell in this financial year?
For Onana?
Yeah.
I'd want 65 million, mate.
Okay, so 65, I'll bank that. Deal or no deal?
Yeah.
Bank that.
Yeah.
He has an awesome Euros. Belgium go through to deep into the competition, semi-final, maybe final, who knows, whatever. But he just looks peerless amongst better players.
Yeah.
And everyone's going, wow, he's good. You know, a club like Liverpool found McAllister will find Onana, right? How much do you want then? In other words, delaying till after the Euros. What's
definitely.
the premium going to be? No, I'm the chief exec asking you as Kev. Give me a number. What you think?
Probably another 10 million.
Okay. So we're saying 65 over here versus 75.
Maybe 80 maximum.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happens if he has an absolute stinker and looks totally out of his depth?
The question's the 65, doesn't it?
Yeah. So going a bit like some of the conversations we were having about points deduction, suspension, and so on, or a phrase I use quite a lot of, saying no but making it sound like yes. Could you not sell him as soon as you can? Season's over, sell him, get it behind you, know where you're at, no fears of PSR, all those sorts of things, with some kickers in there that make it look like 75.
Yeah.
Then you're not Kev no more. You're now Baz. Yeah. And you wake up on the whatever date you just chose, the 25th of June. It says Everton have sold Amadou Onana to Arsenal for a deal worth up to £75 million. You go well in.
Yeah.
Would you?
Well,
Don't want to lose a good player.
I don't want him to go, but if we're going to sell him, then up to 75 million, you go, that's a good price.
Yeah. So that's the classic. It's not what you do, it's the way that you do it.
Because we should ideally now be looking at who we want to replace him
already.
And we should be able to...
Haven't been done that for a while.
Exactly. And we should already be able to identify a young player who can go in and do that role.
Yeah.
For Onana is. For a fraction of the price. Because you got Onana for 30.
Yeah.
Sold him for, just use the figure, 65.
Yeah.
Had him for 2 seasons and we made 35 million on him.
Yeah.
Then we recycle that back in and we do it again. And the plan should be, said it before, if we sold them for 65 million, use that figure for argument's sake. And I'm using that because that's, 50 million less than what Casado went for. And if you watch Casado again last night, you're scratching your head how he went for more than 40 million, but hey ho.
Almost temporary.
Well, hopefully he'll come back again for his own sake, but right now...
Who found Branthwaite?
Brands.
Who found Onana?
Well, everyone should know about Onana, but it was on Thelwell's watch,
Yeah. So they are the exceptions that prove the rule with our ability to get players at the right time. You might argue in both. Well, Branthwaite was a good one, of course.
Branthwaite was...
But Onana, you might have argued, you could have got him...
The year before for 11 million,
earlier.
No, but if you're making...
It's evidence we can do it.
Yeah, if you're making 35 million on a transfer, that's not bad. No. You're not going to do it all the time, but what it would do is, like we've said before, even if you went, right, 30 million, and we said it before, but say 30 million of that went for paying Lille off and their sell-on fee. I don't know how it worked, but say it was, and Everton cleared 35 million. There's a world where you could go, right, 10 million's going to the club. You're not going to see that. Kevin Thelwell, if it's Kevin Thelwell. You've got 25 million there. Well, 25 million is 5 down payments on 25 million pound players, isn't it? I wouldn't want Everton to spend buy 25 million pound players, because there's players all over Europe that you can get for less than that. But therefore, it's also the down payments on. But selling one of them are bringing at least 4 in to help the squad. But also lose people like Andre Gomez, probably Delhi. So there's a big chunk of wages coming back in, and obviously Onana's wages. And you're in a position where you sell one and you bring in 5.
Potentially.
That's how you have to do it.
Yeah.
But obviously there's that demand of that 25 million then is there next summer. But you'd have to work on then, but Branthwaite might go next summer. And
for
then
higher
do the same again.
But
we're in the stadium.
We had this chat on the sofa. God knows what show it was. I talked about how many players can you bring in and manage them in, right? Clearly, if you bring in, as you just said, 5, if you say 2 of them are supposedly development players, like Chimissi's supposed to be, that's different. But if we're talking about 5 who go straight into the first team squad and maybe even straight into the team, which some people might think is needed, right? And and we sort of have an okay spine in the sense of the goalkeeper, one of the central defenders, a DM, and maybe even a striker, depending on a decision on DCL, because that could come this summer.
Well, he's got him. Well, we've got him, haven't we?
Yeah,
he's got a year
absolutely.
left this summer.
So you have a spine, and you've got the others to put around it, and you're losing some. Danjuma, Harrison, decision to be made, presumably about the price, notwithstanding what happened, whether Leeds want him or not.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. And if 5's the sweet spot, you say, well, yeah, I need them then. And you still have a core of experience. Tarkovsky's still going to be around. Young, shouldn't he be gone?
Yeah.
When's his contract going? You can't have...
It's a year, but he's got a year left, hasn't he? Like an option. He signed a year with an option.
Okay.
So he may well go, he may well stay.
And Seamus, of course, decision to be made there.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Patterson himself has to make a decision. Change of manager might help him in that sense. So it's a big
or
summer.
Convince the manager that he deserves to play.
Yeah. Yeah, but come on. He's playing Godfrey instead of himself.
No, I know what I'm saying.
There's only so much the kid can do.
Michael Keane may well move on this summer.
Michael has to decide whether he wants to play football matches, doesn't he? Because clearly he's not going to get many minutes.
But Everton could get between 5 and 10 million for him, surely. Premier League centre-back.
For some, he's probably worth more than that, yeah.
But I mean, I'm just looking at it.
Takes him off your books as well.
He's off the books.
Yeah.
Got 10 million quid.
Very little amortisation, if any, left.
Yeah. Well, 2017 he came, didn't he?
Yeah.
So 7 years ago.
But we'll have re-spread it when he signed his new contract.
Yeah,
But yeah, so big decisions, and therefore you want a committed sporting director. So you stop looking for a job, Kev, right, and do this one. Because it would, for someone like...
Sure he is doing this one.
Yeah. But for someone like Kev Thelwell, particularly, because he's out of all the leadership-y type people, if he's still at the football club, he's the only one who's going to be doing the same job, isn't he? Because Colin will go back to his day job or whatever, right? And Spellman and Mashiri will disappear, sort of thing. So Kev's done all the hard yards of having his hand tied behind his back.
Yeah.
He just, and if you want to choose to measure the sporting director about what happens on the football pitch, clearly, but also there's always that finance bit. We continue to make trading profits on players. So one element of his job is going well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And therefore, perhaps, if he wants to, deserves the right to see if he can do it when the pressure's that ever so slightly less than it's been since he walked through the door. Yeah.
Lynn says, come over here for your next holidays.
Kuala Lumpur. Is that like free bed and board and all that?
I don't know, possibly.
Okay.
Royal Blue says,
flights.
Do the studio peeps like banoffee pie? I don't like banoffee pie.
Not my kind of thing. Looking at Ped.
Ped, that's on you.
Yeah, I love
Ped
it.
likes banoffee pie. There you go.
And Ned's in his own world over there, so he doesn't even know what we're saying.
No.
I'm just doing something for Johnny here.
Okay, fair play.
Oh, yeah. What are you doing?
I'll show you now.
Doing a bit of editing.
No.
He's going. You know what we're going to get? We're going to get.
For losers.
We're going to get it.
You think?
No.
This is the
Screen,
dimension
screen.
of imagination.
Not
it's not on the
It is
screen.
an area which we
Telly
call
went off ages ago.
the Twilight Zone.
It's there, because we were in mid-conversation.
You know.
Celtic Vape says, with Baz's mind control, Ped's thunder and John's wisdom, my life is complete.
Yeah. They're superheroes, aren't they?
Sounds like that.
So, Oh, go on.
Hang on.
He's going to show us stuff.
Oh, okay,
I guess
go on.
the audience can see it as well when you do
Well,
it.
he will, yeah, if we can see
This
it.
is the dimension of imagination.
Oh, look at that.
It is an area
what's
which
going
we
on?
call the
Oh,
Twilight
subliminal.
John. Excellent.
Just for John. Now, if you
That'll
could get
get
that,
used.
like waves like that,
Yeah.
and
That
like
was-
a mind control.
That wasn't the
and bend
Twilight
things.
Zone, was it? It was something else.
Like
What-
Yuri Geller.
The one where we're taking over the control of your television.
Was that the Outer Limits?
Outer Limits? It could be. Do one for the Outer Limits now, as you clearly got time on your hands. Yeah.
There you go.
He will, people. He will. He's dead good. Yeah.
Onana has a 20% sell-on clause, doesn't he? We paid 33 for him.
I love how people, not this person,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
how people know these things. Yeah.
Well, that's what was reported.
Yeah.
But
And it's 20% of profit. It's not 20% of the
so-
total. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
How much did we really pay for him? Not what people said.
I don't know.
Any idea?
I don't know. Like Steve said, Skelly Alvaro, only issue is Bremen has a 6 million buy clause from Leon. They'd be mad to turn that down, even if we paid Bremen 15 million. That's still a good deal. Well, couldn't we just pay them 10 or 12, which is better than 6 for them? But yeah, he's 6'8", isn't he? Centre mid. Yeah, Banda Lamech Lamech Banda from Lecce. He's another one, dead quick. There's Steve. We've done this lots of times.
But the
isn't it?
criteria have to be there
Low.
around pace, physicality, and skill.
Steve says, Baz, if we stay up and Luton go down, would you take Ogbenny? I'd be 100%. Have him over Harrison for less money on less wages.
Take Barkley, wouldn't you, Baz?
Dav Ross, yeah. I don't know whether I'd say I could take Ogbenny because I might be accused of brainwashing the fans into Ogbenny. So
Saying that he's
Who
better
knows?
than he is.
Who
Just
knows?
'cause that's what you say.
Who knows? Yeah, exactly. Hilarious, right? Where are we here? Harry Matson says, "Hi all. Apologies, you've already asked, but can we determine how much of our £89 million losses are attributed to this stadium?"
Well, at least there's £20 million of interest, right? So at least 20 million. Yeah.
Yeah. So there.
Yeah.
Uh,
The servicing of the money we borrow to spend on the stuff.
yeah. Steve Thomas says Dice has to be more adventurous on Saturday.
nothing
Can't
wrong with
we
your
understand that if you
television
get the crowd behind the team,
not
it lifts
attempt
the
to
players?
adjust the picture.
No offence, but this isn't Burnley. Unfortunately, probably no one at the club to advise
We
him.
beat
Like
them
Duncan,
twice already this season.
it's not does it?
Well,
Because that's exactly what Luton will be saying when we rock up at Kenilworth Road.
Yeah, but
Played them twice and beat
the
them.
Burnley will play exactly the same way again, won't they?
They're on the best run. 4 unbeaten at the moment. One more than us in the last 4. Got to be careful. Got to get at them. Best way to beat them is get at them.
Baz, don't try and brainwash me.
Exactly.
I'm not complacent. Yeah.
Feels like you're trying to brainwash me, I'll be honest. David Green says, "Afternoon, boys. Hope you're all okay. Looking forward to the game tomorrow." Paul Gold says, "I was also there. I was in the Holt end.
Yeah.
In the split in the Holt end, on the left of it, with the Blues and Jeff Webber on the right. Because when Carl Schutt equalised,
I was in the house.
you're just thinking, well, yeah. Scored at your end, Carl Schutt, didn't he? And then Sharp's volley was at your end as well.
Yeah, John. Just for you.
That's the one.
There you go. There you go. I'll be doing my brainwashing in a minute.
Music, that's
No, that's the Twilight
that's
Zone.
definitely the
music.
Twilight Zone, but that's the visuals. So we want the Twilight Zone music, those visuals.
Kev Murphy says, "Afternoon, lads. Hope you're good. If we don't get a result tomorrow, I really think it will be chaos, as in the atmosphere. Maybe toxicity, because I think most fans will think if we can't beat Burnley, we're down with a looming
You're
points
one of most fans, aren't you, Baz?
deduction." No, because we can, of course, we can stay up because we can go and win at Chelsea. They aren't massively impressive. We could also lose at Chelsea, which is what we kind of do. But what it would do is I think it put everyone on high alert.
Tom's going to go on a run now.
Well, hopefully he said the tap's open,
I've
didn't he,
got
after
100
that?
clicks to do before tomorrow.
There you go. Mike says, "Can we capture all that wham that lad was chatting and make it into bars?" Who knows? Andy says, "Personally, I believe 777 won't be announced until the second points deduction has been concluded." Seems like that, doesn't it? Seems like that's how they're doing it, but who knows? It's football and it's the Premier League and literally anything can happen. Mark Mack says Baz runs a brainwashing event at the townhouse every Monday. Stan says, all right, lads, dreading tomorrow, but the law of averages means we're due a result. Regardless of the result, Dyke shouldn't be in charge, and I don't get the comments who will take over. Anyone but him would do me until the end of the season. He's got to go. Careful, Stan. Don't brainwash
So here's
people.
the thing then. So you do brainwashing. Do you do psychic?
Don't forget, this is other people.
No, you.
This
I'm
is
asking you,
not
do you do psychic?
me claiming
Tell us when the 777 thing is going to be announced.
next week.
No, I want a date. Okay, start with PSR. When's that going to be announced?
PSR Monday.
Write this down, somebody.
Monday.
So Monday the 6th, you heard it here first, we'll get the outcome of the most recent IC and we'll know what the judge has said and we'll have our own views about what the club will do about it if it's a points deduction on the 8th. Right?
Nice, yeah.
Okay. So when is the ownership things?
Thursday. Why not?
So you say Thursday, which is the 11th of April.
Let's go for that. Why not?
I'm saying
You're probably more likely to be right than me.
over
so
the
go on.
weekend of 12th to 14th of April.
Oh, okay. Will be what? 777.
777.
Okay. You might be right.
I don't
John.
know. I've just said that so that Baz can celebrate his birthday on the Monday, knowing that the PSR
And that is out the way.
is behind us.
Ready to go to Chelsea.
But there's a window there between games, isn't there? So we play Burnley, and then it's a week on
9
Monday before
days,
we
isn't
play
it?
again.
Yeah.
Let's just have both those boxed off in the middle.
And Luton Town, obviously, Friday night at 8 o'clock now.
Yeah.
They've moved it from the Saturday. So I hope, I said this before, I hope that Luton's fate's decided.
By them.
Everton wins some games, and that game is a bit of a meaningless game. And it's a boring 0-0 with about 3 shots, and Sky are fuming because they picked
Oh, because they made it a Friday night thing.
Friday night for Evertonians to get to Luton. It's disgraceful.
Mate.
No, they don't care. James says, on the football shirt chat from yesterday, I went to Classic Football shirt store and there was one massive Everton shirt. Didn't you tell us this yesterday, James? There was just one Everton shirt in there from 08-09 and it was Sahar. Didn't you tell us that? What have we become? A store that doesn't stock our shirts.
Who said they did old shirts on camera? I said, I'll have that one then. Who was that?
Yeah, I can't even.
Where is it? Mate, if you're out there, where is it?
Yeah, you said, didn't you? You wanted a specific one.
Yeah.
Paul Callow says...
Or was it in WhatsApp? Dave Gillum. Not Dave Gillum, it was Richie Gillum, wasn't it? I'll check Richie.
Paul says, afternoon, gents, get big game tomorrow. Do you think we should start with Dom and Beto as a front two? I would have done because I would have changed the system, but he might just put Dom back in because he scored the other night, and I don't think he'll change it now, to be honest with you. I think he'll stick with what he plays, so fingers crossed. The biggest thing Everton needs to do, in my opinion, tomorrow is just come out with intensity and get at them straight away, unsettle them early on, and hopefully
feed
try
off
and
the
get
fans'
in front.
enthusiasm.
Well, the fans will feed off the team. The team come out and they're intense. The crowd will be up for it, which means that there'll be an opportunity to get the result. I had a Burnley fan, Andy, on before saying Everton should be looking at set pieces because that's their undoing. Well, we have been quite good off set pieces. In fact, Onana scored a turf more, didn't he, from a corner? So, in fact, didn't Onana score a Goodison in the cup game from a corner? He did, didn't he? Back post knocked down, he stabbed it in. So, Paul Callow says, oh no, I've done that, haven't I? Sorry. Paul also says, great stuff from Ped and Baz, keeping us all sane. I always enjoy hearing John's takes on matters. He talks in a sensible, logical manner and with confidence in what he says. If he told me we were going to win the league, I'd believe him. David says, is that Andy Bush behind you? Yeah. Andy's just sits in our studio now in the corner. Rob says, Branthwaite's the only player I wouldn't want to lose. Every other player is replaceable. That's if we could actually afford to replace them all. Harry says, Dyche sounded like he was totally fine with our performances yesterday. Spoke like he feels a win's round the corner. So can't see any major changes tomorrow. God help him if we let them settle and concede first. Well, there is the stat that every home game Everton have won since the start of last season, the opposition haven't scored in. When the opposition have scored, we haven't won the game. So that's at Goodison Park, not away. That's at Goodison Park. So that's mad, isn't it?
Totally.
I think it's 9 home wins.
Fans' fault, that, Must be, mustn't it?
Well,
Because it's not Sean's fault, is it? Or the
um,
players' fault. It's not their fault.
Rob says, great question this. Why does no one score diving headers anymore? I fondly remember 2 Andy Gray scored against Sunderland in 85 and 1 against Fortuna Sittard. The last diving header I can remember us scoring, Dom against Burnley, when Carlo's first game, the diving header.
Less crosses.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, there might have
Better
been more
defending.
since then. I'm just thinking that's the last one.
Better defense.
Seamus scored one against Leeds, didn't he, on the line? Headed it over the line, but proper, like, throwing yourself diving otherwise.
I saw one. Who was it? Did what you might call a diving header in the last week. I can't remember who it was. Too much footy on telly, isn't there?
Dave Green says, that's it, Twilight Zone. Sack Z cars off and come out to that. Rob said, do not attempt to adjust the pitch.
That's the one.
That's if they come out to the Twilight
Is it
Zone.
don't adjust your picture or don't adjust
Don't
your
attempt
set?
to adjust it. Yeah. Don't attempt to, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Whichever it was.
We have control.
Kev Murphy says, on a serious note, Baz, can you have a word with the wife to put out more with your brainwash skills? Might be much appreciated. I don't sign brainwash that way. Just brainwash fans into thinking we should be in the top 10. Apparently. Stan said brainwashing, mate, is repeatedly saying the same thing and exhibiting the same behavioural patterns. To me, Deitch springs to mind. Maybe it was Sean Deitch posing as someone else. A win may be round the corner, but at this moment in time, we're stuck in this circle
Corner,
of
isn't
shit.
it?
In a cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
Nah, listen, everyone's entitled to their opinion.
What makes the world go round?
Yeah, that's it. That is clearly it. Waiting for the old refresh. Oh yeah, Dom's diving header against Palace, of course.
Yeah. As if we could forget that, or maybe some of us have deliberately tried to forget it. But yeah, that was a proper one.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
The one against Burnley was more how I see diving it. The one against don't get me wrong, Palace was, but the one against Burnley, like throwing himself on an angled header right to the far corner. But Crystal Palace one, yeah, he threw himself at it, didn't he? There's probably been more when you do that. Graham Rogers says, Baz, can you give us 6 numbers between
that spell?
1 and 59? Where are we? There, Warren says, great show. Thanks so much, John and Baz. 3 points tomorrow is a given. Best wishes, Warren and Artie. Nice one, Warren. Good
one,
to see you.
Warren. You were
Good to
fab
see
earlier
you
today.
this morning.
So obsessed with 1995, aren't you?
What's he got on?
Well,
Just most of it.
most of it.
Was your little box eye going last night when it was 1-1? Yeah, right.
true.
Yeah, cheap shot.
True. No further questions.
They can't cope with stress, can they? The Reds.
I don't think we can. Steve P says, Baz, can you brainwash the recruitment team into scouting Kjaersgaard and Renato Vega? I've been trying to brainwash them into scouting Kjaersgaard for about 2 years now, mate. It's not
I'll
happening.
change the phone numbers because of you.
Where are we? Richo says, Baz, can you find Pete O'Rourke article headlined Everton set for new points deduction after shattering development sources 19 hours ago? Don't know what that is, Richo.
That's the Nottingham Forest journal, isn't it? The O'Rourke fella, isn't it?
No, it's not. Well, it's not the one from last night, no.
Isn't it? What was his name then?
Alex says, tell that Baz fella, the weather in Florida is perfect. Don't be bringing any English weather with you. Try not to, mate. Where are we? Paul Joyce reporting an American group is interested in Everton. They are, called 777.
There's multiple interests, but none of them shown the colour of their money.
No. I'm interested in buying Everton, I just haven't got the money for it.
Just find this.
On the pad, you've got me. It isn't in the right place.
It was. You just keep moving your.
Oh, okay. What does it say? Warning.
Put a cap on you.
Warning.
I know Daniel's story. It was the other one.
Yeah. Sanity, but it says. Steve Kelly says best diving header was Van Persie in the World Cup. Was a good header. In all fairness, it was a good header. James says, would you drop the Corey tomorrow? 100% he's starting.
I couldn't
even though he's been poor. Richo says third deduction also on Everton Road. Third deduction what? We've technically only had one deduction, so how can it go
at the
three?
screen then.
What's that one? I can't get into the is it? There you go.
Mega brain.
Mega brain.
There you go.
Coming out you.
The thing about it is, we probably are gonna get a points deduction, aren't we?
Yeah.
Realistically, so
Yeah.
I've always thought 1 or 2 points.
But as the tariff should be 3, then if we win tomorrow, at worst we stand still. At best we gain points.
Yeah. Shawnee says surely John can get a consortium together to buy the club and have Baz brainwash them.
Don't have to buy the club for you to brainwash people.
No.
Just need to get an amplifier. Really.
I wish I could. I do wish. It'd be a good skill to have that, the ability to brainwash, wouldn't it? It would.
Telekinesis and all that jazz would be good powers to have, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Could move things. Imagine being able to push a striker forward, in it. Or press pause.
Knock a goalie over.
The Matrix, you just press pause, right? You pull back the guy who's offside, press play, press pause again, moving forward a bit, press go, bang, goal.
Off you go, yeah.
And just, dry, rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Be amazing. Absolutely be amazing.
Mr. Anderson, you've been messing around.
Anything to get us 3 points. Anything. M says we should get our 6 points back. Nothing else.
We should kick toward the Glad Street in the first half.
Jay says, Ped, if you had little Dickie Masters on the screen, what would you put on his head? That's the real question.
Don't really know if I can say it on here.
No, actually, no, yeah.
You've interrupted his surfing. So.
USA.
Yeah.
Debatable. Kev Murphy says, another good show. Thanks, lads.
You're going to
SB says, Keith Houchin header. What a header that was.
Good shout, that.
Tremendous header that one was.
Good shout.
Absolutely tremendous.
Doesn't come close to Andy's across the ground one, though, does it?
Notts County, no. Yeah. That was incredible. Notts County away was incredible. Did love a diving header, Andy Gray, didn't he? Did love a diving header.
No sense, so he used to do a lot. Yeah.
Sophie says, ignore football inside they chat wham. They do.
True.
They absolutely do. Louise Randall says, moving players reminds me of the film Angels in the Outfield. We could sure do with an angel. A Brett? No, you're right, we could. Yes, Steve. In May we'll do that, I think. Looking at Onana replacements and Branthwaite replacements, even though I'm hoping there's no need to look for a Branthwaite replacement for next season.
Our Stato's probably watching or listening. Can you get the numbers for that for us, please, so that Baz is well armed?
Yeah, ready. Well, I'm
Thank
yeah, Sophie says Michael Oliver is the referee tomorrow.
Yes, they're selecting hanging judges for every game, I think.
Michael Oliver. Fair play. He'll give us a penalty tomorrow. We'll get back-to-back penalties. He'll be like, what are you moaning for? You always get pens now. Try asking, you haven't had a pen for over a year. There you go.
And then you get 3.
Yeah. Lynn says, score in the first minute, secure the confidence. That's exactly what it is, Lynn. Get ahead, get out, get ahead. Win the game early on. Put them on the back foot. And then, hopefully, because we'll find out, I imagine, early next week, what we're getting deducted.
You've already said Monday, mate.
Monday, yeah.
Don't change your mind now.
No, I'm not. Not changing my mind.
On Wednesday for the ownership, you said.
Thursday, I said, Jonathan, you'll find.
Trying to cheat there.
If only there was a way to double check. I'm guessing with the ownership, obviously, but I think Monday, I imagine that we will know.
Because that's part.
The games are done then, aren't they?
It's part of this game, isn't it? They don't do it at a time that might influence games. You can go 3 months with minus 10 points, but we won't tell you.
We won't tell you like what your next one is, before the game. But you couldn't wait to tell us we had minus 10, which was then seen as nonsense by everybody else. And the next day, the next one. But we'll see. We will see with that. Ray Weir says, didn't Oliver referee the Spurs game when Zagerson came on and smashed into everybody and nothing was given?
Come on.
Can't remember.
Elephant Mars obviously doesn't bother to remember referees.
Referees, I couldn't stand, no.
Tottenham this
let
season,
them go out. The 2-2 with Goodison. Was it Oliver?
Which one?
Might have been Michael Oliver. 2-2 with Spurs. Big jazzer. Nick Gillingham says, as a Forest fan, I apologise on behalf of the whole fan base for Daniel Story's comments.
He's a plonker.
Yeah, he didn't come across well, mate, did he?
And it means the some of the sensible things he said will get ignored.
Well, they go, don't they? Because when you come out with stuff that's just
wrong,
ridiculous, without actually looking at it. It's the same. It's dead easy, isn't it? Like you said, the headline things. Well, if you want to go with headlines, Spurs lost 300 million over a few years. Leicester lost 152 million in a season. There's also Man United 1.3 billion in debt. You're talking about debts. Spurs are what are Spurs in debt, John? Are you saying 800 million or something? Oh
yeah. 800 plus. I'm not sure, 835, 850. It's a crazy number, but they're servicing it with ease. Yeah, that's the key.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. There's headline numbers that terrify people, isn't it? And therefore, when you look at it, you go, oh my God, and that's what people have done. People have just looked at headline numbers at Everton and gone, right, use it this and you lose them, and it's because of this and it's because of that. And then when you actually go, yeah, what about them? And what about them? And what about them? And what about if FSG calling their loans that they've given to Liverpool and the 300 million in debt all of a sudden? Or what about if the whatever it is, United are 1.3 billion in debt? What about that? Or
that very well run football club, Brighton and Hove Albion, owed the owner 350 odd million pounds, right? And that's after, out of their big profits just now, they've paid him back some of the money that they owed him already. So if you're dumb enough or inexperienced enough or both to just think a debt number determines who's, in quotes, spending too much money, you might want to look whether any of them are building stadiums.
Yeah. Rob says, I keep mentioning it, but all Evertonians should check out Andy Gray's first diving header against Sunderland in '85, one of the best ever. Gray was the master at diving headers, brave as a lion.
A lion's brave. Aren't they just king of the cats, They don't have to be brave, do they? No one goes up to a lion and say, come on, mate, how hard are you? Do they? Just wondered.
That's an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brian Garside said Lions and Latchford several times over for diving headers. Jay says, I know John loved this club, but him and the others who travel a length and breadth following the Toffees, especially in the last 3 years, deserve our heartfelt gratitude for pulling us through.
It's hard sometimes.
Kudos to all of you. Yeah.
It's hard sometimes.
You just want to see improvements, don't wins.
And when the Premier League don't care, you play, you go down to Bournemouth, then up to Newcastle.
Jay says, that Trafford will not fancy the set pieces. He's awful with crosses, with play all the Giants. Well, they've changed. They've put Murrick in, haven't they? Although Murrick did play in the 3-0 win for us at Goodison in the Cup. So, we'll see. P. Macher, Oliver was the VAR officially wanted to give a penny the night the ref had a look and swerved Oliver. Respect. What was that one in? Which game was that in? The referee swerved it, didn't he? The VAR would tell him to give a penny.
Really?
He said no, yeah.
So that was the exception that proves the rule, was it? Don't know.
Steve P says, Baz, we need to put in every manager's contract a clause where we can get rid of them for nothing if they go 8 games without a win, because it's becoming regular now. Yeah, no, I said, no one should be going that length of time without winning games of footy.
That might be.
No matter who it is.
That might be a little bit in jest, but imagine you said to a manager, we'd like to put this, you've terminated without compensation if you lose 8 games in a row. And they said, I don't want the job then. You said, well, you're not the man for us, are you?
Yeah.
Or the lady, of course. That'll happen one day.
Steve P. Celtic Babe says, I agree, but I doubt any manager would agree to it.
The Dyche thing is that he was in desperate need of a job. So it should have been the better hand for negotiating his terms and conditions should have been ours. Yeah. Should have a break at the end of every season. It's a 3-year deal, but every year we reserve the right to change it. Yeah.
King Hoddle says you have to be able to feel fear in order to be brave. So maybe Lions just don't feel any fear. They're just like, not gonna mess with me, are you? So therefore they don't have to be. They don't have to be brave, do they? Because
maybe they look brave because they never back down because they don't have to.
Maybe. Jay Ratcliffe says I still think Brian Garside needs to be the stadium announcer at Bramley Moordock. Paul Gold says best goal was v Sunderland.
Graham White does not agree.
Brian is good. Brian will be as a unique way of.
Can he just be at the bottom of the south stand with a megaphone? Bramley Moor. Orchestrating that wall of blue.
Mathew Barkley says, when is Dyche's contract until next summer? And how much would Corberan be from West Brom? Don't know. Steve Kelly says, who chose Dyche? Was it Thelwell or was it Mashiri?
Thelwell.
Mashiri wanted Bielsa, didn't he?
It was Thelwell, wasn't it?
Oh no, possibly, yeah.
Well, put it this way, director of football's accountable for it, regardless of who we let influence him. Yeah. And,
Yeah. Right, we are done. We'll be on more than a game at 2:15. 10 minutes if you want to come over there and chat about everything else as we do our Premier League preview for the weekend. Hit the like button, subscribe if you want to. I don't want to brainwash anyone. Subscribe if you want to. But if I can brainwash you, all subscribe and get us to 100,000. Thank you. We're 147 short of 85,000. So, ergo, 15,147 short of.
If you could brainwash, we'd have far more subscribers.
That's what I mean. We'd have far more subscribers and Everton would win more games of football.
For sure. Groupthink.
And that'd be amazing.
Groupthink. Positive future starts here. Hit subscribe.
That would be good.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Thanks everyone for joining us today. Like I said, more than a game, 2:15. See you in a bit.